Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children 18 plus. You are tuned in to the Loan Officer Podcast with me, Dustin Owen, and a very special guest by way of Charleston, South Carolina. This dude has sold real estate for a living. This guy has pumped up some of the best theme parks and amusement parks in Orlando for a living. He's worked in the mortgage industry for a living. I've known him for going on 20 years. His name is Chris Crosby, but I'm not here to talk to Chris about theme parks, about local real estate, or about being a lender. I want to know all about Chris's latest career opportunity representing this company that I keep hearing about on every sales call, at every sales conference. The company is Ribbon. So first and foremost, Chris Crosby, welcome to Loan Officers Podcast.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I'm pumped to have you on here. So
Me too, after that.
yeah, right. I gotta get you all jacked up. You are jacked up. What have you been doing working out wise?
Hitting it, man.
Yeah, are you a CrossFit guy?
Nope,
Are you a 75 hard guy?
Intermittent fasting, and then I just eat clean.
Okay.
And then when I work out, I go to failure.
Okay. Are
If
you
it's
a
20 minutes, that's
14-hour intermittent, 16-hour intermittent?
Usually 16.
16.
Mhm.
I'm a 16. I try to be a 16. If I can't do 16, I definitely do 14. And if I definitely can't do 14, then 12 is the bare minimum.
Yeah.
I tried to get off it. Like I tried to get back to the, hey, I'm going to eat 5 small meals a day, high protein, etc.
That's
I
brutal.
didn't like it.
Yeah.
I like to eat my 3,000 calories, my 160 grams of protein,
Okay.
which I eat 3,000 calories a day, people, but it's between 12:30 and 8:30.
Right.
Noon, 12:30, all the way to 8:30 at night, then done.
I think I've had dessert one time in maybe a year. I think June will be a year.
Wow.
So
well, you look
I
awesome.
cut,
You feel
appreciate
good?
That. I do feel great.
Yeah.
So, yeah, my dad passed away May of last year. And about a month into that process, I was like, you know what? I just don't feel good. I looked okay. I was probably 20 pounds, heavier, but I carry weight pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, I started there's a certain way I want to feel about life, and eating, nutrition, exercise, that's part of it.
Well,
So,
congrats. No, I love it.
thanks.
Absolutely love
Appreciate
it. JC and I are talking about doing this thing called TLOP Live in February, basically a 2-day live sales conference.
Okay.
And the one thing that we want to do, and we're going to do it here in Orlando, if you're interested, hit JC up, go to the website, TLOPonline.com. That is TLOP online.com or theloanofficerpodcast.com. You can contact JC through there and let us know if you're interested. We're trying to get a head count. I don't know if we're going to do 100 people, 250 people, 300 people.
Okay.
Maybe my buddy Renee Rodriguez, who's been a guest on the show, will participate. But the one thing that we're going to do is, yes, it's going to be sales. Yes, it's going to be marketing. Yes, it's going to be entrepreneur, but it's also going to be mental and physical health. It's also going to be financial health, right? Because I do believe it's the total package.
It really is, yeah.
In order to move forward. But no, you look great. And
it.
to just cut to the chase, he and I met. He was a young dad, young professional, cutting his teeth in real estate at a RE/MAX office. And I was a young, hungry loan originator with my first baby on the way. And we were both out there trying to make it happen together, right? That's how Chris and I first met. And we reconnected recently. You said you found me on YouTube.
Yep, absolutely, I did.
That is awesome. You're one of like 5 people that actually have found me on YouTube.
That's funny.
Full disclosure, you're not. You're actually one of 9,277 people. We're making our way to 10,000. So if you have any friends who know how to use YouTube,
Oh, yeah.
maybe they're listening right now. Maybe they're on Spotify. Maybe they're on Apple. Hey, go check us out on YouTube and do us a favor and subscribe, because once we hit 10,000 subscribers, we're going to buy a brand new camera.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. It's life goal.
Oh, we'll blow it up.
Yeah.
My comms team hit me up earlier today, and they said, hey, these guys are rated 4.9 stars on Apple, and it's over 100 episodes. Why didn't you give us a heads up? And I'm like, I don't know.
Because you're hanging out with one of your boys from back in the day.
That's what I said, exactly.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, I wouldn't want to hand that off.
Yeah,
so.
you didn't travel to Orlando to do this. You hit me up and said, hey, homie, I'm going to be in Orlando.
Yeah, right.
And I said, let's do an episode. You're like, huh? I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
I want to hear all about Ribbon. Like, literally, let's cut to the chase. Let's jump into it. I was just on one of my all-hands calls, right? So I am fortunate enough that I get to manage 10, 12 branches of mortgage professionals, and that's probably 60, 70 loan officers. And every single month on this all hands call, we have a product spotlight, we have a sales tip. This product spotlight was a DSCR loan. It's one of the rare times you'll ever hear me talk about a non-QM loan that someone should look into and use to go out and sell and market themselves. The sales tip was ribbon. And the tip was this: if you don't know what ribbon is, you have to learn. If you don't know what ribbon is, go to their website and log on and sign up for one of their trainings. And once you take one of their trainings, go out there and network like a to the real estate community. And you need to partner with Ribbon if you want to set yourself apart. So let me ask you, because that's your job, is to represent Ribbon, right?
Absolutely,
your job
yeah.
is to come to people like me and pitch me. The good news is I'm already sold. But I want you to kind of answer my questions because I don't know enough about it. How would you describe Ribbon to someone like me a month ago who had never heard of you?
Yeah, well, I mean, we show up in different ways to different people, but at the end of the day, the goal is to help people achieve home ownership. As the iBuyer market, investors, that whole 9 yards started building up steam, Ribbon became more and more popular for people that wanted to own a home and didn't have cash to compete with that. And so to the buyer, we're their option to compete against those, iBuyers and investors to be able to actually put an all cash offer in. To a listing agent or to a buyer's agent, we're an opportunity for them to serve their clients in a way that they maybe haven't done in the past. And so we've got a few different ways we leverage that. But the fun part about it is that, so I take a flashback to the summer that we met, 2005. The market was insane.
It was.
Stuff was all over the place. Lending was a lot more exotic. That's what I call it. A lot more
sleazy.
Right.
Easy.
Exactly.
I said
being
easy.
Nice.
It
Right.
was easy.
So as soon as I found out about Ribbon, I went, oh my gosh, if I would have had that opportunity back in the day, I could have helped a lot of people and spared a lot of people tears in the process of, looking at 25, 30 homes. So as and I say we, I'm normally referring to my wife is in the industry as well. So we started using Ribbon at the beginning of last year in 21. And we just went crazy talking to agents about what it has
Realtors.
to offer.
So you hit up that local Charleston, because you live in Charleston.
Yeah, absolutely.
That local Charleston market. You were positioning yourself as an affiliate of Ribbon, as we are a solution to make sure that your offer gets seen. Maybe it gets seen first. Maybe it gets accepted. Because the way that I understand Ribbon, for those that are brand new to understanding this concept, I'm a lender. I've pre-approved my home buyer. That buyer was referred to me by Chris at RE/MAX. And Chris is out showing property, and they have my pre-approval letter, and maybe my pre-approval letter is ironclad. But for whatever reason, the seller only wants cash offers. For whatever reason, I'm up against people paying cash, hedge funds paying 5 or 10% over appraised value, and they don't want financed. They want to know that it's a cash deal. I can partner with Ribbon as a consumer and know that if for whatever reason my financing is not ready to close by the time of the closing date, Ribbon will in fact buy this home on my behalf so that I can A, win the deal, and 2, fulfill my contractual obligation that I was prepared to pay cash.
Yeah, and it's guaranteed. So when you're a buyer's agent presenting that offer to the listing agent, the first thing you can say is, this is actually better than a cash offer. Because if a true cash buyer found something different, and there's a lot of people settling for homes that they didn't necessarily want, foregoing a 1% earnest deposit or around that to move on to another home is not that much, then you're left holding the bag. You got to go put the home back on the market. So if that instance did happen, Ribbon will come through, we'll purchase the home. And the beautiful part about that is if the buyer's still in play and they couldn't, like if they had to sell their home and they need to buy first, that's one of the things that we're starting to see a lot of steam, towards that. So they go find the home they want, they put a contract on it using Ribbon cash, and then they turn around and list their home, and then they're not settling for something.
That's actually where my brain went the very first time. I'm like, oh gosh, for all of my borrowers who are writing contingent offers, which by the way, like you might as well take that offer and drag it through some dog manure if you're making it contingent in today's market. It's not fun, but that's the market we live in, right?
Yeah.
So you're saying, wait a minute, but if I partnered with Ribbon, I could write essentially a non-contingent offer.
Yeah.
Now, in a perfect world, I'm still going to go through and get my financing. I'm still going to have my home sold in time, and I'm going to move forward with selling my home, using my local lender, getting that mortgage that I wanted, and life is good. But if not, Ribbon will still buy the house. Ribbon will still let me move into the home, and I can rent it back for up to 6 months, is it?
180 days.
For 180 days until my house sells, until my financing is ready to go through, whatever the case may be. But here's what I didn't know, Chris. You just told me that it's a guaranteed offer, right? So like if I went and made a cash offer today on a property, you are 100% correct. I'm going to give them my $5,000 earnest money deposit. I may or may not be sold on this house, but I just need a house. And if a better house pops up in 2 weeks, I may choose not to buy the house. I may literally choose to, hey, seller, keep my $5,000, which by the way, the seller doesn't want my $5,000 because the seller's probably selling their house to go buy another house.
They want that house sold.
They want the house sold.
Yeah.
But with Ribbon, as JC would say, if he was sitting in your chair today, the rub is no sellers. This is a guaranteed. Ribbon is guaranteeing you that they're going to buy this house.
Yep.
Dude, what's the catch? Like, what's the catch? There has to be something that's...
So, well, one thing I would add to that is we're starting to see more sellers that are finding out about Ribbon, and they are wanting to pay the Ribbon fee for the buyer.
Whoa, hold on. There's a fee. Okay, so there's the catch. There is a fee.
Yes.
Okay, so if I'm a buyer and I reach out to Ribbon, there's a fee.
That was a transition. I was like slipping that in.
Yeah, no, I like that because look, there's always a catch, right? When I was trying to figure out, I was a young dad, just met you, and someone's like, hey, bro, you need life insurance. I was like, oh, that's awesome. Someone's going to pay my wife if I die? And they're like, yeah, but there's a catch. I'm like, what's the catch? I'm like, well, you have to pay us. You have to pay us $700 a year for the next 20 years.
Yeah. And
if you die in that 20-year time frame, we'll pay your wife $250,000 or $500,000.
Yeah, so I mean,
I'm using an analogy because your catch is there is a fee, but to me, your fee it's an insurance.
It is. It really is. That's what I was going to say next.
Or when I go to some of the nicest hotels, they charge me $60 resort fee, and I pay that resort fee because it's a luxury. Because I love their pool, I love their gym, I love their amenities, and I'm glad to pay that $60 a day times my 3 days that I stayed there. Yours could be a luxury fee. It could also be an insurance. Either way, there is a fee to be paid to Ribbon when you are the buyer and Ribbon is vouching for you or insuring your home purchase with a guaranteed offer to the seller. And what are the fees? Because I believe my research says there's two different types of fees.
So it depends on what happens at closing.
Okay.
So if there's a situation where Ribbon has to purchase the home, depending on the state, because the cost for us to do that is different, it could be anywhere from 2 to like 2 3/4% of the sales price.
Okay, so my words, not yours. If Ribbon actually buys the house, because I think that's what's good to know about this.
Yeah.
Ribbon on average probably only has to buy the home a quarter of the time, I would guess. Is it about 25% of the time that Ribbon?
It's a lot lower than that.
Wow.
I mean,
okay.
It's less than 10% that we actually have to buy the home.
Yeah. So view this as an insurance policy. View this as a luxury tax because you would have never had your offer accepted had you not thrown in Ribbon, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, but if for whatever reason the proverbial poop hit the fan or something didn't go as expected, you still got the house. Ribbon just bought it. They actually went through and they bought it.
We bought it.
You got to move into it. You're going to rent back for 180 days.
And then you're going to buy it for the original sales price.
You're going to buy it for the original sales price, but there was a fee that you had to pay to Ribbon.
Right.
Somewhere between 2 to 3% of the purchase price.
Yeah. So if that happens, that's our Ribbon Reserve product.
Okay.
And if we don't end up having to purchase it, that fee gets reduced to what we call our boost. So we boost your offer to an all-cash offer. That's 1% of the sales price. And that's universal across the board. Doesn't matter what state it is.
Are you in all states?
We are not.
Okay, what states are you not in?
So I'll say that we're going to refer to the website for that.
Okay,
because
good.
We're growing and we're bringing on new markets, not weekly, but monthly.
Well, correct, because you're not in all markets. In fact,
right,
you and I are sitting in my office in Orlando, Florida, but I don't think you're in West Palm Beach, Florida. Like, I think I talked to my sales manager down there, and I mentioned Ribbon to him. He's like, ooh, I don't think they operate in my county.
Well, the thing I would say is stay connected to us.
Okay.
Because we're onboarding new markets like left and right. Our goal will be to be in 26 markets by the end of the year.
Oh, beautiful.
So we're at 12 states right now.
Okay.
If I remember correctly.
So I love this. So we're kind of I'm catching you at the right time.
Yo.
I'm catching
Yeah.
you like at the innovation stage.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Oh,
like
yeah.
like before you go big time, we're catching you now. I love that. I learned that. I was today years old when I learned that.
Yeah.
But going back on the fee structure, I think it is paramount to understand, yes, Ribbon is going to charge a 1% fee to basically protect or guarantee that you win that contract. So you're buying that $400,000 house. You're able to convince the seller to accept your offer, not one of the other 9 offers, because you attached your offer with a Ribbon guarantee. You move forward, you still buy the house using whatever means you are going to do it. Usually you're going to your local lender, you're obtaining a conventional loan, et cetera, et cetera. Maybe you had a home to sell, maybe you didn't. But if you went that route and you closed, because Ribbon vouched for you, you are going to have to pay them a 1% fee. So in this case, 1% of $400,000 is $4,000. But in some circumstances, you're saying the seller may be willing to even pay it for you.
There are all kinds of ways to skin that cat. So I'll just leave it at that. I mean,
Realtor could potentially,
everything is negotiable.
Okay.
As that you know, gets put out there.
Lender.
So okay.
Realtor.
You're throwing those
Title
out.
company.
I'll just shake my head and say, at the end of the day, it meets our mission to see all parties work together to help that person achieve home ownership.
Oh, look at that. Yeah.
That is the end goal.
Yes.
So
okay. No, I love that. So let me start talking to the loan officers right now, because you and your wife did
love
this.
that. Yeah,
you and your wife,
absolutely.
which by the way, I mean, you prior to you joining Ribbon, like, and basically Ribbon recruited you away from the mortgage business, did they not?
Yeah, because I was working so closely with them.
Yeah.
And the agents in my market thought that I worked for Ribbon already, because that's all I did was talk about Ribbon.
Yeah, so for the
Wake
LOs,
up in the morning, Ribbon. Go to sleep, Ribbon.
For the LOs back there, imagine this. You're newly licensed, which a lot of you are, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Chris and his wife, just a couple years ago, newly licensed.
Yep.
Had tons of sales experience and real estate experience, and I think your wife is a life coach. So, you know, wasn't new to the game, but was new to the mortgage industry. Both newly licensed. Chris says, you know what? I'll do business development. She says, perfect. I'll become the technician and the technical whiz.
Yep.
And how are we going to get out there and sell and market ourselves? And you all found Ribbon and chose Ribbon to go out and sell and market yourselves.
Well, it's an amazing opportunity to do that. One of the teams in Charleston, and their spokesperson is Barbara off of Shark Tank.
Okay.
They have very reputable lenders. I have known them for several years. But because we jumped in, learned Ribbon, leveraged every opportunity we had to become useful, to become a concierge, you know, like 5-star white glove turnkey service, that's how we positioned ourselves. And so within probably the first 30, 45 days, that team was calling us as the Ribbon go-to people over the folks that they had been working with for years, 3, 4, 6, 7 years. You know, and they were like, hey, what's going on here? And we just learned. And we learned how to walk them through the process and how to get their offers accepted. So, I mean, when you have somebody come to you and they say, look, this buyer is getting ready to walk. They put in 29 offers. They were in tears last night. I desperately need your help. What are you going to say? Absolutely. 1,000%.
Yes.
Here's what you need to do.
Well, and what I love about it is you're offering a solution. Nobody wants a mortgage. I promise you. They all want a home.
Yeah.
Right. They all want a home, but 75% of those people need financing for their home purchases. And thank God, because if they didn't, I wouldn't have a career. You and I wouldn't be sitting here talking.
Yeah.
But in today's day and age where there are 3 buyers for every 1 home on the market, yes, it gets frustrating. People end up crawling into the fetal position, sucking their thumb and crying themselves asleep because they can't find a house.
Yeah.
And all they wanted was a home. You helped them find that home. And you started gaining the attention of some of the top producing agents in your market.
We had answers.
So if Chris and his wife, newly licensed loan originators, were able to use this product, what could you do? Like, what could someone else who's tuned in right now, if they went to the Ribbon website, what is the website?
It's ribbonhome.com. So
RIBBONHOME.com.
Yep.
Ribbonhome.com. So they're in multiple states. They're in multiple markets. Check to make sure they're in your market, in your state. Or if they're not, inquire and say, hey, what's the likelihood of you being in my state or in my market? And if they are coming, you want to be one of the first ones, because you can use this as your difference maker. This is a reason for a realtor to meet with you. You probably remember this name, blast from the past. Her name is Jenny Wiemert.
Wow.
Jenny's one of the top agents in all of the country, but
Yep.
she's based in Orlando, Florida. Jenny and I were in a partnership. I was her lender. She was a top producing realtor for like a decade. And Jenny always talked about tools in her tool belt. She needs her lenders, her title companies, her inspectors to bring her tools in her tool belt. Loan officers, your job is to help realtors sell more homes, period. We're on episode 230. I don't even know what anymore. If you tune in, a lot of what we talk about, if it's going to be real estate and mortgage specific, is putting tools in realtors' tool belts. Ribbon is just that. It's a reason to call. It's a reason to host a lunch and learn.
Yep, absolutely.
And I'm assuming there's sales reps like you throughout the country. How many Chris Crosbys are there that represent Ribbon currently?
So we're set up a little bit differently. I'm on the expansion team, so
Okay.
I'm operating in multiple states, getting the groundwork laid for us to put a full-time person in. So in Florida, we've got one business development manager. We're hiring a few other ones.
Okay.
And then we've got account managers. So there's probably 5 or 6 for the state that help as far as writing the offer, answering questions, that type thing.
Yeah, because I mean, we're doing surface level today. I mean,
Yeah.
today the purpose is to introduce you to the idea, to let you know that the company is out there, to let you know if they're not in your market, there's a good chance they could be coming into your market. And for those that it is in your market, you should look at partnering because this could be the difference maker. This could be why your client gets their offer accepted, right? Would be because we use Ribbon. No, it's fantastic. Anything when you stop and think about Ribbon and the concept of it, anything that we left off, if you were to sit right now in front of a room, that room's filled of potential home buyers, potential home sellers, realtors, and lenders alike. Basically, most of the episodes we do, I'll tell people, this episode is for anyone who owns a home, is looking to buy a house, sells real estate for a living, or finances real estate for a living, because I believe that encompasses about 75% of the American adult population.
Right.
If that was your audience right now, is there anything that you and I didn't cover as it pertains to understanding what Ribbon is?
Well, so like the birdshot, like quick,
Yes.
would be that obviously we covered writing a cash offer, but with a Ribbon cash offer, it waives the financing contingency on the contract,
Okay.
as well as the appraisal contingency.
Oh, wow.
So both of those are now removed. So
Okay.
we've got a cash offer going in, and then I think we hit the rent back opportunity, that type thing.
Yeah, we
So-
touched fees, we touched rent back, we touched, I mean, whether you're a first-time home buyer, whether you're writing an offer contingent, but we didn't hit, and I'll reiterate in case people had, I don't know, sneezed. You know, when you sneeze, you sometimes
Can't hear
anything. So in case you sneezed, what is also really cool about the Ribbon offer is that it also eliminates an appraisal contingency and a financing contingency. So it's like a cash offer with a guarantee
Yep.
and no appraisal contingency. That's pretty awesome.
And depending on what state you're in, we can close in 14 to 21 days.
Okay.
We just have to jump through the necessary hoops on our end to make that happen.
Yes.
So what's really cool is when you get an offer from Ribbon, it doesn't have the pre-approval from the buyer. It's got our proof of funds letter for $250 million. And so it's, like you're throwing the gauntlet down, like here's my trump card, so to speak, that we're here to win it, that type thing. So what we found is that when we took the time to explain, and I'm really more talking to LOs right now, the loan officer that's like, how do I turn this into more business? If you're helping your buyer's agent present an offer and that listing agent's never heard of Ribbon, now you've got an active listener to explain what it is and help them win as the listing agent, and then turn around and follow up with questions on, oh, wait, I've got a buyer I could help, possibly do this. So I think last year Redfin came out with a study that said a cash offer is 492% more likely. That's what a boost your odds are. 492% higher chance of winning
Wow.
with a cash offer.
Wow.
So
That's powerful.
everybody, now says cash is king. That's great. Ribbon cash is really king because it trumps the, true cash buyer. So
I love it. Hey, you were in
Yeah.
town for a conference. What conference were you in town for?
I was here for United Real Estate Conference. Yeah.
Okay, so you're here to present and discuss Ribbon
Yeah.
to realtors from all over
Right.
the country?
Right. Yeah, they were. And it was a lot of fun because, I'm a heart guy. I think I hit that a little bit earlier. So when you lock eyes with people, they're just trying to make it. You're providing for your family. It doesn't matter what phase you're in your business. This market is like none other that we've ever seen before. Well, I go back to my '05 summer when I felt that way. Like, what am I going to do? We had like 1,200 homes on the market. My buyers are crying, that type thing. At least this is an option that helps them not just get in front of other people, but to win. I can't tell you how many people we had come to us that were, 15, 20. I think the worst was 29 offers.
Yeah.
They had written 29.
I love the W word, win. I stole that.
Yeah.
We did this episode probably 3-4 months ago with this $100+ million producer on the loan side. Her name's Molly Nadeau. She's up in Minnesota. Shout out, Molly. What's up, girl? And Molly talks about calling all of her agents. And when they're writing an offer, she says, hey, what do we have to do to win? And I love that. I totally swiped and adapted that from Molly, because when I coach loan officers now going forward, I talk about that. Your job is to help your realtors win. Your job is to help your realtors sell more homes.
Yeah.
That's what every sales call that you go on needs to be about. Not your programs, not your products, not your service. No. How do I help you win, Chris? How do I help you sell more homes?
Yeah.
Because if I help you win and I help you sell more homes, I promise you I'll get mine. I promise you that the universe will be good to me, and there will be plenty of people who need financing, and I can step in and I can give them my service and my products and my professionalism. But the win word, that's what I love. And yeah, as a fellow heart guy, as you call it, that's it. That's what we're doing. We're helping people buy homes because nobody wants a mortgage, and we're helping realtors and builders win. After that, the rest takes care of itself. If people want to get a hold of you, how do they do so?
You can find me. You can email me, Chris, CHRIS, Crosby, CROSBY @ribbonhome.
Like Crosby, Stills, and Nash?
Yeah, Crosby, Stills, and Nash.
All right.
And you can shoot me an email. I'll connect you either to myself or somebody that's in your market to help you, learn about Ribbon, learn how to leverage Ribbon, what are the opportunities. It's really cool. I'm thinking about some veterans that we helped last year. So we had a retiring Navy SEAL, 25 years. I didn't even know SEALs lasted that long. I thought it was like brutal on them. So retiring, coming to Charleston from Texas, they were interacting with my wife. She's amazing. And so what do you think? I mean, the VA market is really taking it on the chin right now. So
unfortunately, it's the most unpatriotic thing you could do is not accept a VA home loan offer, but whatever. That's for another day.
So we took that VA client, wrapped it with a ribbon jacket, and went in and won for them. And now they're moved in. They've got their little kid and everything. And so it's cool. Yeah. It's amazing to see that and know we help somebody, achieve home ownership. So we say that all the time.
So Chris.Crosby at
ribbonhome.com.
At ribbonhome.com. Yeah. So he's Chris Crosby. He's with Ribbon. I'm Dustin Owen. I'm with the Loan Officer Podcast. You can catch us on literally Spotify, Apple, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. I think we're even on TikTok. I'm easiest to connect with on LinkedIn. LinkedIn's my jam, especially for business and professional. I try not to do a whole lot on Facebook, although JC does run a Loan Officer Podcast Facebook group for us. Instagram, I'm pretty cool on. I'm pretty hip on, but connect with me. If we haven't connected already, I'm Dustin Owen on LinkedIn. We have a TLOP LinkedIn business page. Go to our website. Like, our website's tons of extra content. Most of it's free. If you want the good stuff, we're going to ask you for a $25 donation. But, website's really, really tight. JC's doing a good job. It's been up and running for the past 4 or 5 years. But that is all the time we have for you. Did I say 4 or 5 years? 4 or 5 months. If that website was up for 4 or 5 years, it better be damn better than it is now. It's been up for just 4 or 5 months. It's loaded with additional content. You should check it out. It is theloanofficerpodcast.com. He's Chris. I'm Dio. That's all the time we have for you today, but we'll look forward to catching you on the next episode. Peace.